All right, so for those joining the video, we're starting this morning just with a little foot massage using a ball to roll the bottom surface of our foot. Most of us have tennis balls around, but any kind of small ball will work. And if you don't have a ball, we're going to be doing something. You could just massage your foot with your hands for a little bit, but we're going to be using a ball, or even you could use like a pair of rolled up socks. We're just going to be doing some tossing and catching later for coordination. So we're just going to spend a little more time rolling our feet. We started a little earlier, so if you're joining the video, you might want to pause it and spend a little more time uh, rolling your foot. And if you've been doing this for a while, if you feel like you've rolled one foot more than the other, you might want to even that out, because we're just going to spend a little more time doing this. The goal here is just to really take the rigidity out of the bottom surface of the foot and try to soften it up. So we are just about done with this. Hopefully your foot is feeling a little softer. And a lot of times when we're doing this, if you're playing around with this at home, you can spend some time working one foot and then just stand and notice how that side of your body feels. A lot of time if you work one, that side of your body feels totally different than if than the side that hasn't been worked. But now when we stop, and let's do that, when you're ready, just complete your rolling. Just take a moment to stand and notice how it feels. So when we wake up our feet, we're probably going to feel our connection to the ground more than we would otherwise, right? Because we're so conditioned to being in this position of standing up that connection of the foot to the ground is something we don't often notice. But once we've woken up the bottom surface of the foot, there's a sensation there of that connection that might be very profound if you bring your awareness to it. And then we'll just take a moment or two here to notice the rest of the body. How's it feeling? And let's just continue standing as we start to bring our awareness to our breathing. And as we do that, as we begin to focus on our breathing, most of us are going to start to slow down and deepen our breath. So let's do that intentionally now. Start to draw a bigger, deeper breath in and let it just expand. And then allow that breath the time and space that it needs to fully empty out. And we're just going to breathe deeply here as we're standing nice and tall. Let that breath expand into the front, sides, back of the body. And allow that fullness of breath to fully empty out. Grounded, and we're connected to the ground beneath us, solid, steady. And yet we can feel the lightness of the movement of the breath flowing in our chest, in our lungs, in our rib cage. That breath moving down, so there's movement in the belly, low back. Take a couple more very mindful breaths, just noticing how it feels to be in your body, breathing now. And then after that big next full emptying, releasing of breath, begin to transition to a more natural breath. And let's take a moment here to check in with how we're feeling. We've kind of been noticing our physical body, physical reality in this moment. So just acknowledge how your physical body's doing this morning. And then let's also check in with how we're feeling mentally and emotionally, spiritually. How are your spirits? So much going on in our lives, in the world. How has that landed in your body? How are you doing? And as we bring our awareness to how we're feeling, can we engage with that awareness as we would if we were sharing this with a best friend, and our best friend was offering us empathy and compassion for how we're feeling, understanding. Offer that same empathy and compassion and understanding to ourselves. And try to connect with what we're needing right now. So we all need love, and that might be what is most present for you. We all need a lot of things. We all have needs. So what is the thing that you feel maybe you're needing the most this morning? And if you like, you can set that as your intention to cultivate that need as you practice this morning. So maybe your intention is just to offer yourself love as you practice this morning. Or maybe you need forgiveness this morning. Or maybe you need something else. But if you're so inclined, set an intention, something to invite in as we move mindfully this morning. And then when we're ready, let's begin to transition all the way down onto our mats. We're going to begin lying down. So as you find yourself on your back, go ahead and give your knees a hug. Hug your knees in. We're going to start with a little gentle sway side to side to kind of massage the low back. And then I want us to continue, go a little further. So as you roll to one side, can you go all the way over and actually bring your hands in close to your chest. And then we're going to roll onto our back. We're going to roll all the way to the other side. And then roll onto your back, roll all the way to the other side. So you get that massage, not just on your low back, but on your rib cage, on your upper back, on your shoulders a little bit. Just using the floor kind of as a massage tool here. So if this doesn't feel good, feel free to just hug the knees and just roll your knees side to side. Otherwise, we'll do this a couple more times, rolling side to side. And then we'll come back to center. Let's take our legs up in the air and drop our arms at our side and just alternate flexing and pointing the feet. So the heel goes up, toes pull down. Notice how this feels, this stretch. Maybe your legs are straight, maybe your knees are a little more bent. Let's circle at the ankle here, loosening up the feet, the ankles, the lower legs. You can wiggle your toes or spread them out. Circle the other direction. And then we're going to bend the knees again. You can grab the knees, just pull them apart. Let your knees open out wide. Let your hands rest on the inside of the legs for a moment to kind of maybe encourage a little more opening. And take a breath. In and out. Great. All right. Bring your knees back in and lower your feet to the floor. Let's lift our heads up now, clasp our hands beneath our head, letting the weight of the head rest into the hands, elbows wide, head a little bit off the floor. We'll take a breath in. As we exhale, let's try to knit the lower ribs down into the belly and then begin to curl up head, neck, and shoulders, and then lower back down and breathe. So again, exhale and curl up, and inhale and lower down. All right, go ahead and let your head rest all the way on the floor on your hands. Take your feet up off the floor. We're gonna have those bent knees, and we're gonna take the knees apart into a straddle. And then, so the leg motion is just gonna be knees apart and then knees together. So starting with the knees apart, let's lift the head a little bit off the floor. Take a breath in. So we're gonna exhale and curl up and bring the knees together. And then we're gonna let the knees drop open as we release the head back. So we're curling up, knees come in, inhaling back. Exhaling, curling up, inhaling back. Exhaling, curling up, inhaling back. This time, exhale and curl up, and then extend your legs out as you inhale back, and then bring your knees in, and then open out. So we're curling up, knees come in, extending the legs out as we inhale back, curling up, knees come in, opening the legs out, inhaling back. Curling up, knees come in, extend the legs out, inhaling back, curling up, knees come in, inhaling out. Let's do those a few more times. Extending, coming in, and opening out. You can even kind of lift the hips up a little bit if you like. Extend the legs out. Maybe do a little hip reverse curl. Open out. One more time like that. Extending the legs out, curling up, and opening out. Now this time, as you curl up, I want you to twist across, elbow towards the opposite knee, and then lower back, open your knees. Curl up and twist other elbow towards the opposite knee. Inhale and open back. Curl up and twist across. Inhale and open out. Curl up and twist across. Inhale and open out. So we're waking up the oblique muscles here. We're waking up the upper belly, the lower belly, the hips. Let's do that a few more times. Twisting across and opening back. Coming up, twisting across. If you want to take out the knees opening in and out, you could just keep your knees together and curl up and twist across. Let's just do a few more here. And open out. Nice work. All right. Release your hands, release your head, release your feet. Take a moment here. Maybe breathe in that thing that you're cultivating this morning. Check in. Let your breath empty. And then let's go ahead and roll to the side, and we're going to make our way around to all fours. And of course, if you're kneeling on a hard floor and you want to put something under your knees, go right ahead and do that. Cushion your knees. Let's find ourselves nice and square. Hands right beneath shoulders, knees right beneath hips, spine nice and long. I always seem to kind of sway my hips a little side to side as I arrive here. So do any movement that makes you feel like you're in a good place. Find a lot of length in your spine as you breathe in. As we exhale, let's drop the tailbone down and just round all through the spine, pushing into the hands, dropping the head. And then come back to flat back. And then as we breathe in, let's lift the tailbone and arch and extend all through the spine. And just do that one more time. Exhaling to round or flex the spine into cat pose. And then inhaling to arch and extend into cow pose. And then just come back to your neutral spine. I'd like you to take one leg straight back, flexing out through the heel. Can you extend strongly through that leg? So you're firing up that leg. You feel action in the leg with that strong press out through your heel. And then we're going to bend the knee. So as we do this, a lot of us, the belly's going to drop and the back is going to arch. So let's engage the abdominals to support the low back here. And could we press the heel a little more up toward the ceiling? And then that knee can come down. So we're just going to press up. Actually, let the knee come down almost to the floor. And then press up. And then let the knee come down. And then press up. So each time you're pressing the leg up, try not to let that movement come from arching your low back. We want to target the back of the thigh and into the glute here. We're pressing up and lowering down. One more time, pressing up. This time, let that knee come all the way down. We'll do the other leg. So take the leg straight back, press out through your heel. Strong, strong, strong. And then bend your knee. And notice if your back begins to arch. Really support that. And then press up a little bit and just come back to that where you were. So just feeling that engagement in the upper thigh and into the glute. Then let that knee drop down, almost touching the floor, and then press it up. Let it drop down and press it up. Let it drop down and press it up. And one more time, drop it down and press it up. Good. Let that knee come down. Let's go ahead and sit back on our heels. Round over the legs into child's pose. You could have your arms way out in front. You could have your arms supporting your head. You could bring your arms alongside your body. But we want to breathe into the fullness of the back of the lungs here. Let the breath empty out. Just check in. What are you focusing on this morning? What are you inviting in? All right. With your next inhale, lift your head up. Let's reach our arms way out in front. So we got our fingertips kind of walking forward as the hips draw back. So we get kind of some stretch or lengthen the sideways in the arms. And then take one arm and reach it, let's say the right arm, reach it way up towards the middle front of your mat. Take your hips to the right and kind of pull them back towards the right corner of the mat. Take your gaze and look under that right arm and take a big breath into that right side. And let the breath go. Slide that arm back. Slide your other arm up towards the middle front of your mat. Take the hips over to that side. Look under that arm and take a big breath in and out into that side. Nice. All right, let's reach both arms way out in front, wide as the shoulders, maybe a bit wider, and start to transition the downward facing dog. Taking those hips up and back. So as the hips go up and back, just let the weight of the head dangle. Shake your head a little bit, yes, a little bit, no. Free up the base of the skull here. And then maybe begin to pedal your heels, bending one knee and letting the other heel press down. Or just any sort of movement here that feels nice for you as you're in your first down dog. Really feel your hands connected to the floor, fingers, thumbs, knuckles. And then let's go ahead and bend both knees a bit. Really draw the hips way up and back. Find length in that spine. Deep breath in. Full, nice. Release the breath. One more time. Big breath. Big empty. And then let's walk our hands back towards our feet, lowering our heels down. Ending up just rounded, folded over, bent knees. We'll take a breath into the upper back. Allow the breath to empty, and then start to draw the belly in and roll yourself up. Nice soft knees here as you roll yourself up, starting to unfurl your spine, starting to stack those vertebrae. Just feel the spine stacking on top of itself. As you start to become more upright, really ground down through your feet. As your head comes up, let's reach the arms out and inhale and reach them up. Lengthen and lift. And then we'll exhale, arms down at our side. Great. Okay, so let's just turn and face our device. Stand with our feet beneath us and just put your hands on your shoulders and begin to roll, do little arm circles. Get a little closer. So circle in one direction and then circle the other way. Wake up those shoulders here. And then let's change to big arm circles. So circling the arms all the way back and around. And then circle the other way. And you know, if this doesn't feel good for your shoulders, just modify it, make it smaller, or you know, one arm at a time, whatever. So now we're going to do the same arm motion. So we're going to circle the arms back. But could we, if you're up for this, try doing that balancing on one leg? So anytime we do anything balancing on one leg, it's good balance practice. Let's circle the arms the other way. Really focusing on grounding through that standing foot, pushing down. Great, let's change legs. So you can do it this way with your hands on your shoulders. You could do one arm at a time. You could do the big arm circles. You could do anything with your arms, really. We're just practicing balancing on one leg as we get those shoulder muscles really working. Let's go the other way. Yeah. And of course, if this is a hard day for balance for you today, good chance for forgiveness, practice, empathy, compassion, whatever. All right, let's find our ball again now. And again, if you didn't have a ball, you could take a balled up pair of socks, just anything we can toss. We're just going to practice a little coordination work here. So we're just going to throw and catch the ball. And so this works our visual acuity, right? And then let's do it, try it on the other hand. So maybe you're a juggler and you do this all the time, but a lot of us really don't have many opportunities for hand-eye coordination. I know there are many pickleball players out there, so that's probably good. All right, let's try tossing from one hand to the other. And again, just like balance practice, some days we're really rock steady on some of this stuff, and some days aren't as good. So anything we do that is new and different and challenging, we can be forgiving. So we can just let our arm kind of drop down as we throw and catch. And could we do this coordination work here standing on one leg? So it's just got a lot harder. But this is just a practice, right? Kind of challenging the body in ways that are a little different. Sometimes it's good for our brain, good for our body. The two sides of our brain working, the two sides of our body. Let's just try that balancing on the other leg. So it's just kind of a fun, different practice. You guys know I like to throw in different things. And so this, hopefully, something you're enjoying giving a try. All right, great. Thanks for playing along. We're done with the ball now. Let's go ahead and make our way to the front of our mats. We're going to begin rooted. The size of the screen changes on Zoom. So today I'm feeling very far away from you guys for some reason, even though my mat is in the same place. But anyway, standing at the front of your mat, we're going to root down and reach the arms out and up, breathing in. And then as we exhale, we'll swan dive forward. Knees soft, just let the tension drain out. Let's place hands onto shins and inhale and lengthen out through the crown of the head. And exhale and fold over. Bring our hands to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Pressing down to take those hips up and back. Let's take a breath here. And exhale and lower to straight arm plank. Pushing the floor away, nice and long, heels to crown. We'll take a breath here. As we exhale, we'll bend the elbows a bit, elbows pointing back. Always free to drop to knees here. Let's take another breath. And with this exhale, we'll lower all the way down onto belly, into our prone mountain. So tops of the feet, heels of the hands sliding back, nice and long toes to crown. Let's inhale up to baby cobra, pulling the heart forward. And then we'll exhale and lower down. Let's do that again. We're going to inhale up to baby cobra, and we'll lift our hands a little bit off the floor. Let's lift the elbows and hug in toward the midline, waking up the upper back. And then release the hands, release the chest. This time, hands staying down. We'll inhale up to baby cobra. We could stay here, or if we like, continue to come up a bit more into cobra. And then we'll exhale back. Let's go ahead and push up to knees. Curl the toes under and lift the knees. And then lift the hips up and back to down dog. We'll breathe in and out here. And then looking forward, let's walk our feet up. Plant our feet beneath us. And let's reverse swan dive. Sweeping the arms out, we'll inhale and rise up, reach up. And exhale, arms down at our side. We'll do that again. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. We'll bring our hands to the floor and step back to down dog. Taking a breath here. Exhale, lowering to straight arm plank. Taking another breath here. Exhale, a little bend in the elbows. One more breath here. And then lowering all the way down to prone mountain. Let's inhale up to baby cobra or cobra. And exhale back down. And let's go ahead and push back to knees. Walk our hands and we're going to stand up on our knees. Let's step the right foot out in front now. Let's get the heel a little forward of the knee and then put the weight into the front knee, bending the front knee, letting the back hip move forward. And then we're going to push the weight back. Let's put a little weight into the back knee and shin, and then let the front knee move forward. A little more action in this back thigh. And then push the weight back. One more time. Weight in the back knee and shin, letting the front knee move forward. Feel that stretch, feel that opening in the front of the hip. Let's sweep the back arm up, the left arm, and then we'll sweep the right arm up. Can you push the weight into the back knee and shin as the arms reach up and overhead, and take a breath. And then we'll exhale our hands all the way down to the floor. We'll curl the back toes under and press up into a lunge, making sure the feet are hip width apart. We can bring our hands onto the front knee. Let's push into the front foot and straighten the front leg, bringing our hands to hips. We'll try to square our hips to the front line of the mat, and then we'll bend into the front knee. Let's push that front foot down to straighten the front leg. Again, bend the front knee. Push down to straighten. One more time, bend the front knee. Push down to straighten. This time we'll bend the front knee and keep it bent. We'll drop our arms down. Let's sweep the arms out and up and overhead. Big breath here. And then exhaling our hands all the way down to the floor. We're going to drop onto the back knee. Push the weight onto the back knee. And we're going to change legs. So, stepping the left foot out in front. Heel a little forward of the knee. And then putting weight in that front foot, bending that front knee forward, letting you get a stretch in that back leg. And then push the weight forward. Can you again put a little weight in the back knee and shin as you bring the weight forward onto the front foot. And then push back. One more time, pressing down with the back knee and shin as you move the weight into the front foot. And then we'll take that right arm and reach it up. You might want to put a little tone in your belly here to support your low back. Reach the other arm up as well. Big breath here. And then exhale your hands down to the floor. Curl the back toes under and press up to lunge. Make sure you're not on a balance beam here. Feet as wide as hips. And then make your way up Straighten your front leg. Square the hips forward so that back heel is going straight back. And then bend your front knee. Push into the front foot to straighten. Again, bend the front knee. Push down to straighten that front leg. Again, bend and straighten. This time we're going to bend the front knee and keep it bent. Let's lower our arms down and reach the arms out and up and overhead. Big breath here. And then exhale your hands all the way down. You can drop to knees and then make your way to down dog, or just transition to downward facing dog here. Breathe in and out. Let's lower to straight arm plank. Take another breath. Maybe a little bend in the elbows and another breath. And then we'll lower all the way down onto belly. We're going to do classic cobra now. So I'm going to just turn a bit so you can see me better. So this cobra, we're going to start with our arms out like a V. So hands a little wider than your shoulders. You still have, the weight of the chest melting into the floor, your head close to the floor. We initiate this movement of classic cobra by pulling the upper arm bones into the shoulder socket. So you're going to start to retract your upper arms. So your hands are going to slide in towards you. And as your arms are sliding in, can you pull your heart forward, just like we do in cobra, but your hands are down on the floor. Your arms are sliding in, your heart is pulling forward. So there's a little pressure in the arms, there's a little work in the back of the shoulders. And then lower back down. So let's try that again. Start to slide the upper arms in as you pull your heart forward. There's kind of like action and resistance here. And maybe a little feeling of length in the spine or work in the back of the shoulders. Lower back down. One more time. Slide the upper arms in. Pull the heart forward. Breathe in. Exhale. And lower down. Great. Let's bring our hands back into a mountain position. Hands alongside the low ribs. And push our way up and back to downward facing dog. Nice. Breathing in and out. Let's take one leg up in the air. I'm going to do the left leg. And bend the knee and pull it forward towards the elbow. So we're going to inhale that leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, pull it up and in. Can you lift up in your belly as you do this? Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, pull that knee in. And now we're going to try and step that foot out in front. You need to drop to the knee and step it out, that's fine. We're going to come into this high lunge. And again, let's push into the front foot to rise up. Great. All right. Bring your hands to heart. Bend your front knee and lean forward. So you have this nice long line from your heel to the crown of your head. We're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, let's twist to the left. If your left foot's in front. If your right foot's in front, twist to your right. And your hands could stay to heart, or you could try bringing your elbow to the outside of the knee and deepen that twist a bit more. You can make a fist with your bottom hand, press down with your top hand. Let's take a breath here. And then unwind. Great. So we can stay here, or if we want a deeper challenge, and you might need a chair for this or some blocks, we're going to try putting the weight into the front foot. We're going to try straightening the front leg, lifting the back leg up, and tipping into balancing order. We're just going to hold for a breath or two here, trying to balance and being forgiving with ourselves as this is a struggle today. And then let's bend the knee and step the foot back, bring our hands to the floor and step back to down dog. You can stay here, take a break on your knees, or flow here into your plank, your head, bent elbows. You could lower down and inhale up to cobra, and just flow back to your down dog. Once you're there, we'll take the right leg, lift it up in the air, bend that knee. Can you hug that knee up towards your right elbow? Lift up in the belly. And then inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee and hug it up and in. Again, inhale up and back. Exhale, as you bring that knee up and in, can you look forward and step that foot through to lunge? Or help it up, or however we get here. When you're ready, press into the front foot to rise up. Yeah. So bring your hands to heart, bend your front knee, and lean forward. Can you feel the line of your leg and your spine? Take a breath here, spine nice and long. On your exhale, twist to the right. And you could just keep your hands to heart or elbow to the outside of the knee to deepen that twist. Twist around, take a breath. Let the breath go and unwind. You could stay here, you could grab some blocks or a chair. Could we put our weight onto the front foot, straighten that front leg, lift the back leg up, tip forward, and hold a balancing warrior here. Your hands can be to heart, your arms can be out to your side or reaching forward. We'll take a breath or two here. And then we'll bend the standing leg, step the back foot down, bring our hands to the floor, step back to down. All right, take a deep breath here. Let it go. And then just walk your hands back towards your feet, lowering your heels. Nice forward fold. We're going to move into chair pose. So you might want to bring your feet a little closer together, or you might like them hip distance apart. We're going to go ahead and bend the knees, lower the hips, and sweep the arms forward. So we're sitting back in a chair, and our arms are forward. As those arms reach forward now, and you sit back, I want you to start to take your elbows wide and pull your elbows in towards your waist. So you're kind of squeezing your upper back, and then reach forward and do that again. Pull the elbows back and in, and then reach forward, kind of squeezing your scapula, your shoulder blades, and then reach forward and then squeeze back. Let's do two more of those. Reach forward and then squeeze back. Reach forward, squeeze back. This time just reach forward. You could hold arms forward or try lifting them up by your ears. Take one more breath in and out. And then push down to rise up, reach up, nice work. Exhale, arms down at your sides. Great job. All right, let's come to stand with our feet wide on our mats. We'll do a little standing work here. So we're gonna turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out. Nice big angle on that back foot. Hands can go to hips. We're gonna bend and straighten the front knee a few times here. The next time the knee is bent, pause there. And I want you to lift your front heel just a teeny bit off the floor. So I want you to feel as though the energy of the knee and shin is moving forward. And at the same time, can you try to feel the energy of the heel as pulling back? So you have energy flowing in two directions. The knee and shin are going forward and the heel is drawing back. And you just feel all that dynamic action from a very passive pose to a very dynamic pose here. Take a breath and then relax that heel down. All right, let's tip the hips over now and let the front forearm rest on the front leg. We'll take the other arm forward and let's sweep it overhead. So thumb up, pinky down, kind of rolling the arm down. And let's roll the belly and chest under the arm, reach along with that arm, take a breath. As we exhale, let's release the gaze down to the floor. Nice. Take your bottom hand and place it on your shin. Take your top arm and switch it to reaching up toward the sky. And then keeping your gaze looking right over your foot, begin to straighten your front leg. Yeah, moving into triangle here. Now you could rotate your belly and chest more towards your device. You could keep this hand on the shin or open the palm up. Can you radiate out from your center and reach out through your arms as you lengthen through your crown? Take one more breath here, in and out. And then push down into your feet and legs as you reach up and rise up. Nice work. Let's do that all on the other side. So turn your feet forward, turn the back foot in, turn the front foot out, and begin to bend and straighten the front knee. Nice deep angle on the back foot and hip. And then just really feeling the ground under your feet here. Let's now bend the front knee. Keep it bent. So the energy of the knee and shin is going forward. We're going to lift the front heel up. And as the energy of the knee and shin is going forward, we're going to try to bring the energy of the heel to pulling back. And just see how that feels. You really feel that whole leg. Take a breath and then relax the heel down. Again, let's tip the hips over, bringing this forearm and the thigh. Take the other arm out in front and sweep it overhead. Thumb up, pinky down, and then roll the belly and chest forward so you're kind of under that arm. Take a breath, reaching with that top arm. Exhale, taking the gaze down to the floor. So you're looking over your front foot. Now, take your bottom hand onto your shin. Take your top arm up toward the ceiling. And with your gaze right over your foot, begin to straighten your front leg without letting your head drop back. Coming into triangle here. The bottom hand could stay on the shin or the palm could open. We're going to rotate the belly and chest again towards our device. We're going to really extend out from the center as we lengthen through the crown of the head. We'll take a deep breath here. And then feel the strength of the legs, the feet pushing down as you inhale and rise up. Beautiful. All right, take the feet forward. Hands can go to hips. Let your hips come forward. Lift your heart, draw your elbows in, extend through the front body as you breathe in. Exhale and come upright. And then start to hinge forward to flat back. Feel free to let your knees soften here. Then continue to hinge over, letting your hands slide down your legs. Let your head drop down. We could be here very passively with knees soft, head just dangling down. Or if you like, you could lift your sitting bones up and draw your head in towards your legs. Breathe in and out here. Let's bring hands to hips. We're going to push into the feet and legs. Inhale up to flat back. Pause here, releasing the breath. And then one more time, push down to rise up. Nice work. You can heel toe your feet together. You could just jump your feet together. We're going to come down to sitting on our mats. And if you want to sit up on a block or sit up on a blanket, you can. We're going to sit in bound angle, so we're going to put our feet together. If you feel like you're kind of rolled back here, let's go ahead and bring your hands behind so that you can sit up as straight as you can. I want us to try to push our feet into each other. Push the feet in, which is going to potentially make your knees rise up a little bit, which is fine. You're working the inner line of your legs as you push your feet together. And take a breath. And then let that go. Now I want you to try to push your feet apart. So you're really pushing your knees away from each other, which kind of works the outer line of the legs and into the hips. And take a breath in and out. And then we're going to try and do both at the same time. So we're going to push the feet in as we push the knees apart. So again, that action resistance, really creating some work in the muscles of the hips, the inner thigh, feet. Take a breath. As you let the breath go, you can let go of that work. All right, bring your knees in and straighten your legs out. You might shake them a little bit. And then we're going to take the legs out wide. Again, some of us, our hips are very different. Some of us, it's difficult to be here and we feel kind of rolled back. So best you can, maybe use your hands to bring yourself upright. Some of us, our hips are, the angle of our hips in our femur, in our hip socket, allow us to hinge forward. So if that's true for you, you might start hinging forward. So you might be working towards being upright. You might be working towards hinging forward. You might need to have a little bend in your knees. Could we put some weight in our heels, pressing our heels down to create a more active kind of stretch, kind of work here? So maybe whatever we're doing, we're not bending at the waist. We're just moving from the hip crease, right? We're not rounding it out. So how far can you go? Not a reflection of your character. If your body doesn't allow you to, put your face on the floor, no big deal. We're just working on a little mobility along the inner line of the legs. Let's take a breath here and let it go. And then come back up and bring your legs in. Let's just kind of lean back now and bring our feet in. We're going to separate the feet a little wider than the hips. We're going to start to roll to the sides of the foot and then bring the knee up, roll to the other sides of the foot and bring your knee up. This time, let's roll all the way over. And as the knees come down, take that arm from behind and let it come off the floor. So both knees come down. Take this arm and sweep it around towards the wall behind you. Reach towards that wall behind you and take a breath. And then unwind and come back. Bring your knees up. We're going to let them go over to the other side. Take that arm that wants to come off the floor. Let both knees go down. Sweep that arm around. Reach around towards the wall behind you and take a breath. As you release the breath, begin to unwind. We're going to go back to that first side. So knees come up and come all the way around to the other side. That arm from behind, this time, I'm just going to turn a little bit. We're going to bring it around. We're going to place our hands on either side of the front knee. And then we're going to start to lower our chest over that front knee and thigh. Maybe we come down onto our forearms. Some people might bring their head to the floor. You might stack your one fist on top of the other, rest your head on your fist, or maybe your head's just hanging out. This back leg, the knee can be bent. If you want to straighten that leg, you can. But really, we're focusing on getting a nice stretch in the hip on this front leg. So breathe in and out here. What are you breathing in? What are you inviting in? And you can use your exhale as an opportunity to let something go. So one more round of breath here. And then start to lift your head up, bring your hands to the floor, push yourself up. Start to lean back and bring your knees up. We're going to bring the knees around to the other side. And then that arm from behind is going to come around, but this time we're going to just bring hands on either side of the front knee. Lower down over that front knee. Maybe your forearms come to the floor. Maybe you go further down. Whatever you want to do with that back leg. Breathe in and out here. Use your breath to support you. You might choose to focus on breathing something in. You might choose to focus on letting something go as you breathe out. One more round of breath. And then lift your head up. Bring your hands down, lift your chest up, lean back again. And we're going to start to transition to lying down, and we will move into our final pose of relaxation. So if at this point you wanted to put on a layer or put on some socks, if it's cool where you are, this would be a good time to do that. If you like to have a little something under your head when you lie down, grab that now. Or a blanket, whatever you need for your Shavasana. Set yourself up and then make your way down Before we drop all the way into our relaxation, let's just finish with a nice gentle lying side twist. So we'll bring our knees into chest, and then with the knees in close, we'll drop our arms out to our side. And let's just allow the knees to drop all the way over to one side, stacking one knee on top of the other. And then just reaching back through the arm that's behind us. We can take our gaze up or look back at that arm. And again, we'll breathe in and out deeply. And this is a wonderful opportunity to let that exhale be a full releasing and letting go. So what can you let go of? So much tension and stress in our lives today that kind of gets lodged in our bodies. Here's a chance to release it all. Frustration, resentment, anger. You can just breathe it out with your exhale. Release it. One more deep breath in and out. And then you can bring that top knee up, bring the bottom knee up. Try to have your knees fairly close to you as you let them drop all the way over to the other side, stacking one knee on top of the other, and then reaching back through the arm that's behind, looking upward towards that arm behind. And one more opportunity for those sort of cleansing breaths. We're kind of wringing out the tension in our bodies and just letting go of all the heaviness, the burdens, the things that weigh us down. Just let them go. Full release of breath. Sometimes you can blow them out or sigh them out to make sure that you're fully releasing that breath. One more time. And then you can bring your knees back up, and we'll begin to transition to our final relaxation. So any other movement you crave, you can offer that to yourself, and then when you're ready, just lie back as comfortably as you can. Wiggle around until you find that place where your body can just completely release and relax into the floor. Begin to soften. And allow. We can let go of holding on here. Let go of the need to do any particular thing, to be any particular way. We can fully release here. Maybe you're very relaxed. Or maybe you need to invite the legs to relax. Invite the belly to soften. Give an invitation to your arms and hands to settle into the floor, to soften and release. Give permission to the shoulders to release back and the heart to soften and open. Allow the weight of the head to be heavy. And allow the forehead to smooth, the eyes to relax, the jaw to release. Just rest here. Body relaxed, mind at rest. Just be as you are. This is a rest that we all need and deserve. We don't always take time for this. But imagine you were at a beach and you just were lying on the sand with the waves rolling in. You give yourself permission to just drink in the moment. Embracing not doing. You may decide that you'd like a little more time here. And you're welcome to just close your device and stay as long as you like. If you're ready to transition, you can begin opening your eyes, maybe wiggling fingers or toes. Begin to bring your feet to the floor. Gently roll to your side, supporting your head, taking your time. When you feel ready, you can start to make your way up to sitting. And we'll close out our practice just with a few moments for some quiet reflection, maybe gratitude or prayer. As always, so grateful for this practice and this time with each of you. I wish you a great day. Peace. Great to be with you all.